Okay, so here we are in the workbook. This is what I just showed you in the previous video, which is my song. You'll see that there's a big black block with fields like tempo, player, and notes, and also a little star, which lets you add more inputs to this function, which are the notes. Tempo is how fast the music is going to play, so right now I have it as a fast tempo. The player which is going to play to, which is me, and the notes are inputs to this, and they can either be single notes, such as a piano D, piano E, or they can be a list, and this will play the notes simultaneously like a chord. So this first note is a chord of C and E. Now, I have the sheet music here for the Super Mario Bros. Game Over sound. If you know how to read sheet music, then translating this into the note blocks is going to be quite easy. However, if you don't, it's still fun to play around with, and maybe you can learn a little bit of music theory as you do. So the new note block sounds are going to be in Minecraft Music, and they have their own section, and then in music there's tempo, this note block, something called a rest, the tempo selectors, and then sharpen and flatten. And then in the instruments there is the bass drum, bass guitar, piano, snare drum. Actually, this is the snare drum and this is the bass drum, and then this is sticks. Guitar sticks. No. Drumsticks. Sorry. So I'm just going to make a new function here that's called Mario Game Over. And then to start, we're just going to drag this tempo block out here. And then what I like to do is just add a bunch of inputs right away, so we don't have to keep adding these as we go. We can always delete them. So the tempo is going to be fast, and if you hop over to JavaScript, you can see that here's our function Mario Game Over. This tempo block just resolves to a number. So you can actually, instead of fast tempo, you can just put a number here that is like 700, which is fast tempo, or even faster. So like 900. So the player is going to be me. Okay, and then let's start transcribing this sheet music. So our first note in this in the treble clef is going to be an E and a C, and it's just going to go on for one beat, and then there's going to be two rests where no music is going to play, and then we have a C and a G. So we're going to need a list because we have a chord. And what I like to do with the list is I like to right-click and hit inline inputs. That makes all the inputs be on one line because it's kind of easier to read. And let's get rid of one of the parameters. So let's have the treble be in piano. So let's take the piano block and let's get the note block. So our first note, let's drag this over here. Our first note, what did I say? It was a E and a C. So here's the note drop down. It goes from the lowest note at the top to the highest note at the bottom. So let's do E, and then copy and paste, and then put a C in. Now, the range of these is a limit imposed by Minecraft itself, so you only have these 2 octaves here to work with, but that's usually enough to create most tunes. And now we're going to use this rest to signal that we're waiting 2 beats before we play another song. And now let's check the sheet music again. It's going to be a C and a G. So C and G. And now we have another rest. This is a rest for 2 beats. So let's rest again. And then we're going to have another chord, which is going to be a, let's see, a C, E, A, G, and an E. G and E. As you'll notice, I'm picking the G that's lower than this G because this G is an octave below this G. So we were using this G, but then this is also a G, but it's a lower G. And now we're going to move on to this one. Well, this is 2 beats, so we can put a rest in there, or we can just double this, but I'm just going to put a rest. There's no concept of more than 1 beat because it doesn't hold the note. Note blocks don't hold their note, so it's kind of hard to simulate half notes and whole notes. So in this next part, it's going to be an F, A, so F, A, whoops, and then it's just going to be a single note, and I think it was a B, yep, B, and then back to A, and there should be a rest here, and a rest here, just following the tempo here, and then here's a flat note in this next one. It's a F and an A flat. So let's add the rest, and then get our list 1, and as you can see, we've run out of notes, so we just have to add inputs to the bottom. Sometimes it'll go off the screen like this, and what I like to do is if you just drag a block down here, it'll extend the workspace. You can drag more inputs. Need a few more. Alright, let's see if that's enough. Bring that back up. Let's move this over to the left so it doesn't get in our way. Alright, so where were we? F, A. A flat. A flat is a G sharp. Alternatively, you can also do flatten and stick that right in there and just put an A right there. This will change the note, or you can just use the sharps. G sharp is the same thing as A flat. So F, A flat, and then a B flat, and then the same thing. So rest to do the half note. It was a single note with a G, B flat, which is A sharp. Rest to do the half note, and then same thing, rest. Okay, same thing, rest. And now, let's see. An E and a G, a D, and then E and a G. E, G, and a single note, and then the same thing. Now I'm noticing something here is that we have a rest in between every note. This pretty much means that, let's delete these last two inputs first, so we didn't need them. Okay. Now these rests were musical rests, and they were also rests to keep the like the half notes and the whole notes synced up with the quarter notes to keep the beat in alignment. So if there's a rest in between every one, you can actually just delete these rests, just one rest per one, and then it'll probably sound the same. But right now, let's test this out and see how it sounds. So let's just call the function from our main function, and let's right-click and disable this block. And disabling a block, it keeps it there, but it's not going to run. So I'll see you in game to see how this sounds.